Hey, welcome to Kevin Unscripted, and this is the first live I've done, and I've got some pretty cool guests, Robby and Meg, and they told me their last names and how to pronounce it, but I'm going to let them introduce themselves because I don't want to ruin it and butcher their last name. But they are actually currently at Buck and Horse, and anybody who's local would know where that is, and they're currently traveling from Buck and Horse down to Dawson Creek. So we've decided that it'd be a good idea for them to come in studio, and we'll do a recording then. But I'll bring them into the studio and introduce them because they're actually with us right now. So I thought we'd kind of see how things were going with them. Here we go.
Hey.
How are you guys doing?
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
So this is something where you guys were in the middle of traveling down to Dawson Creek and wanted to meet this live and pulled over, and it turned out to be at the Buck and Horse lodging and camp there. They used their Wi-Fi, and Kate and Daryl both were there and allowed you to be able to kind of reach out and be part of this live. Is that correct?
That's correct. They've been super nice because there is no network on the road. So luckily, we found the right spots. Yeah, great. Thanks to them.
No kidding. And where are you guys from?
Switzerland, Geneva.
Wow. And you guys are on a world tour, and that's what brought you up the Alaska Highway?
Absolutely. So we started in Canada. We landed on 14th of October. And since October 14th, we've done 18,000 kilometers in Canada.
Wow.
We've visited all the provinces. So the farthest we went, Robby went, is Tuktoyaktuk. I stayed in Dawson City because the minus 50, I was not sure I could handle it on the motorbike. But yeah, so we've been visiting Labrador, Newfoundland, Nova Scotia, etc., and crossing all Canada up to Tuktoyaktuk.
That's unreal. And this is on a three-wheel sidecar motorcycle.
Yes.
How is that in the wintertime? That's unreal.
Alors, they were built in Siberia, in Russia.
They were built in Siberia, Russia.
Yeah. Irbit, the factory, since the Second War. First, the sidecar was for the war.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So how does that work with, being able to maintain and travel, the world and keeping it operating proper? You must be packing a whole pile of parts.
Like Robby say, you carry 50% of the spare part, and you're sure it is the other 50% who is going to break.
Break down.
It's always like that. But so we do regular maintenance ourselves, but there are very few Ural dealers in Canada. And so we have stopped in Nova Scotia, in Montreal, and in Airdrie, in Alberta. This is the 3 Ural dealer we have stopped for really full maintenance, make sure everything was correct.
And both bikes are the same, so they're interchangeable parts?
Yes, Robby used to have another older bike, but this time we decided to go with the 2 same model, so we're sure that we can exchange spare parts if needed.
Oh, so what is that like when you're traveling, in the winter on the Alaska Highway, as far as windshield factor and maybe debris coming from other vehicles and, weather conditions? I mean, that's got to be something else to be able to contend with.
Tu veux pas dire, sur les 15 degrés, 30 degrés.
Ah, yes. Alors, there is several level of cold. When you ride to 0 degree, it's like summertime for us. No problem. Minus
Really?
15, you have some problems like oil frozen. And if you want to put a little on your engine, you can't, because the 1 liter oil, it's strong, frozen like a stone. So you have
Wow.
to found hot water
to liquefy
to
them.
liquefy the oil.
Wow.
And when you ride -30, you have several parts who frozen on the bike, suspension, all suspension, and it's very hard, but it's okay.
And so we made fire. We make fire
one morning
under the bike, so everything heat up, so we can start the bike again.
with fire.
Wow. This is a picture of one of the bikes. So you're talking about oil, you know, making sure the viscosity of the oil is able to circulate. But how is that with you guys riding as far as protection? Do you have a full face shield and, you know, some heat at least on your face? And
yeah, same thing. Up to -15 degrees. We like you guys when you skidoo, right? When you skidoo all day, you wear your skidoo suit and your skidoo boots. So we have full equipped with skidoo boots and suit. And then when we start reaching above -15, -20, so then we start using our electrical gears. So we have a jacket and a trouser underneath the skidoo gear.
Oh, wow. Have you taken, there's a lot of gravel on our rocks or on our roads. Have you taken a lot of debris, flying gravel from vehicles going by?
No. Seriously, gravel it's the best for us because
really,
yeah, it's the best. It's like motocross, you know, like rally.
Oh, yeah.
Rally
Fair
race.
Enough.
Yeah.
See, I've taken some rocks in the windshield, and I can't imagine, you know, taking some of those rocks to a limb or something like that. Let me tell you.
But in fact, well, first, there is not a lot of people driving on the Alaska Highway
in winter.
There is very few. So, but we have trucks, but the trucks they're really good. I mean, they stay far behind us. They wait until we pull aside and we slow down. And then when they overtake, they come back in front really, really far ahead of us.
So they're driving.
We don't get any protection.
They're driving respectfully.
Oh, yeah, they are. Really, we had no issue in 18,000 kilometers.
Oh, that's awesome. That's good. What is it like to, you know, travel up some of these hills? I know where you guys were going, especially out towards like the hot springs. There's some really big, long hills. Are there any issues pulling some of these hills on a bike in the wintertime?
No. Alors, the sidecar are 750 centimeter cube.
750 cc.
cc.
Oh, okay. So you have the power.
Horses. Yeah, and 41 horses. It's not a lot, but it's good for us.
Oh, that's.
You can ride if you want. You can ride to 100 km/h, but we ride 70, 80 km/h.
So sometimes on
you're
a
taking
hill,
it easy.
we get to 60, you know, but that's okay.
Where do you guys? Where's your destination? Where you guys came from? Dawson, that we've seen you, and let me tell you, you guys were definitely turning some heads. A lot of people had noticed you guys traveling up the Alaska Highway. So you said earlier you had made it all the way to Tuktoyaktuk and Nunavut. And now you're heading back to Dawson Creek. And where's the destination?
In fact, we have to rush a little bit because we are invited at the Toronto Motor Show next week.
Oh, wow.
So we are heading to Toronto.
Toronto. Yeah, that's a big drive. My goodness.
Yeah, but for that, we had to rent a trailer and put the bikes on the trailer so we can drive 800 kilometers, 1,000 kilometers a day. Because otherwise, with our bikes, we usually do between 200 and 400 maximum a day.
Oh, I see. A lot more. Do you guys pretty much just keep going at one day after another, or do you go on a routine to cycle so you're not, riding all the time?
We check the weather. So as long as the weather is good, we keep riding. But we have to stop a minimum of a day per week because we need to build our video. Because once a week, we make our video of all the ride we've been doing the previous week.
Oh, yeah.
So we usually stop a day or a day and a half to be able to take all the video from our different cameras and make a film that we post on YouTube.
Ah, that's pretty good. I'm just getting into the whole video end of things, and to put all of that footage together in one day, that's impressive. You guys must have quite a skill set there.
We are very complimentary.
I can imagine. Well, that's cool. I'll let you guys get back at her. Like I said, I'm glad that you took the time to be able to stop. Thanks again, Kate and Daryl, and I'll let you guys go and just maybe touch base when you're hitting Fort St. John or getting closer, and I'll give you better directions to get to the studio. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in person.
Yay, us too.
All right.
See you soon. Thanks.
See you soon. Take care.
Ciao.
Bye.
All the countries that you've been to. That's all the tools you need?
Yeah.
Huh. That's it. All right, we are live. Well, welcome to the studio, Robby and Mag.
Hello, Kevin.
Good morning,
Good
David.
morning. It's a good start to the day with our coffees. I thought I'd do a little shout out to our sponsors and then introduce you guys a little bit better and then go from there. So last night we had met and gone for dinner, and Latitude 56 is a sponsor. So shout out to Latitude 56. And we got you a couple of hoodies, which you guys tried on. It looks pretty good, I might say. Look at that. And Julie over at Latitude 56 is down in Taylor, and she's got a website. So what I wanted to do real quick is just show her website, and I will do that right now. And her website is Latitude 56. She sells, all kinds of apparel. So we're talking hoodies and sweatshirts and hats and toques, and you can do some custom orders. And best way to get a hold of Latitude 56 is either on her website. She also has a Facebook page and Instagram, so people can follow. She has a shop down in Taylor, but I think most of her sales are pretty much on online. So the other part too is I wanted to introduce Robby and Mag to the show, because you guys have sure drummed up a lot of attention lately. And so I thought I'd introduce you and kind of give a little brief outline of what you guys are doing. So Robby and Mag, who have known each other since high school, are on a journey to travel the world by motorcycle on Russian-made Ural sidecar motorcycles. Did I pronounce that right? Ural? Ural. And arriving in Canada in October 2022, they started their Alaska journey earlier this January. at Dawson Creek, BC, Mile Zero. And they've been capturing the attention and curiosity of everyone on their ongoing adventures. They're also sharing their story on YouTube and Facebook and revealing the beauty of where they are, including and sharing with the people around the world in a way that even the locals are amazed by at the beauty that they live in. And that is something that I thought was pretty unique too, because I've lived on the Alaska Highway myself for a very large part of my life, and a lot of the video and photos and everything that you're capturing, just stunning. It's absolutely amazing. So appreciate that. And it's kind of cool to be able to hear your story and adventures, you know, in a way where I think we're almost living vicariously through you also at the same time in a way. So what I thought I'd do is start out with a little YouTube clip that you guys had just released yesterday. For the viewers who are wanting to know where to find this, Robby has a YouTube page called Robby 3 Wheels, and then also a website. But on the YouTube page, I believe once a week you release a video of your journey. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I'll share this video quick, and then we can kind of continue on from there.
Sure.
I'll just do a couple more clips here. It's 4, 9.
Tout triste d'être super loin de chez lui. Alors il a décidé de mettre un signe ici à Watson Lake avec le nom de sa ville, je crois que c'est Danville, et puis le nombre de miles qui le séparait de sa famille.
330. I want to show this. This is Taylor Hill.
Oh, my nightmare.
Yeah.
You can say that we have subtitles. If we
In French here.
do
In
no,
English.
Oh, in English.
You can change parameter.
Oh, okay.
Parameter. In French, in English. A lot of persons don't know, but you can read in all language you want.
Oh, really?
Japanese, Chinese, yeah.
Oh.
It's a 2 hour of work when we build the video to put good French
Yeah.
to be to have a good traduction.
So you're able to put subtitles in whatever.
Whatever language you want.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind
It's
of an
parameter.
interesting.
You change parameter English, Chinese, German, and you have the subtitle in your our language.
And that's what you were pointing out a little bit earlier.
Yeah, so you just go to the parameters
Yeah.
and you select the language you want the subtitle in.
Oh, there you go. I'm glad you told me about that. Actually,
Yeah.
that's something I should include in my YouTube channel.
Because a lot of
Oh,
persons
yeah.
don't know.
The thing is, you need to make sure that YouTube did the subtitle correctly in the proper English or proper French for us.
Okay.
So you have to correct.
So it's proper French, just because there's different dialects of French.
Yeah, sometimes YouTube is a bit funny.
Yeah.
The way
We have the same thing in English. Even across Canada, I'm sure you guys have bet. English in Newfoundland is a little different than English in
YouTube
Out west.
can write summer for butter.
Oh, okay.
We have to change.
Oh, that's interesting. Before I continue on, I'm just going to adjust this camera because I think I'm taking way too much of that picture up. Give me one sec here.
Et le son, il est bon avec les basses. Hein.
Ah ouais.
Ça donne super. Nous, on a avec nos petits trucs à 2 balles, mais ça donne.
Oh, there we go. Excellent. Well, welcome to the studio. This is actually a really cool surprise in addition to what we were expecting yesterday. So why don't we start out with, I guess, the drive. You started in, where did you really start? You came into Canada in October. And where was that from? So where did you start in October at the beginning of your Canadian tour?
We arrived from Europe by plane.
And the bikes came by plane too,
Yeah,
or did you ship them?
Because actually it's cheaper than boat.
To fly?
Cargo. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Because American and Chinese buy boat all the containers of the world to economic to exchange.
Oh, okay.
So Europe have a little box to exchange.
So yeah, the supply and demand to be able to put your sidecar into a sea can and ship it, just because there's a very few amount, would be a lot more expensive than putting the bikes on a plane. That's a big
nearly
plane.
twice as expensive as the plane. And
wow.
because the gas also, there has been an increase in gas. So
Yeah.
for the boat, of course, they consume a lot. Plus the time was 2 to 3 months to get the bikes shipped over the Atlantic, while by plane it's 4 days.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
4 days because we start to Geneva in a truck to Paris, and Paris go in a plane to Montreal.
Oh, wow.
4 days only.
So Canada was an actual destination starting point for you then. If you flew and wanted to make this trip a little bit more of actual planned trip, I guess, so to speak, instead of just touring the world. Where did you land?
Montreal.
Montreal.
Yeah, Montreal.
okay.
Yeah, Montreal. Yeah, we
And-
landed in Montreal, and it took us 10 minutes to get the custom done.
Oh, really?
Oh,
It was easy.
Amazing. We were not expecting it was so easy.
3 minutes like this.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, thank you.
Amazing. They didn't get your luggage lost, eh? The bikes?
No, thanks. So, yeah.
So how did they transport that? Just on a big pallet, and they strapped her down and
Yeah,
loaded it up for you?
exactly,
Oh,
exactly.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And when you landed then, was there a bit of a plan as to where you wanted to go? Did you have a destination in Canada that you wanted to go to straight across? Or
So the first thing is I wanted to see the whales.
the which, sorry?
The whales.
The Wells.
Yeah.
Oh, the whales.
The
oh,
whales,
sorry. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we say, okay, let's go this way. And on our drive, on our ride, we always meet people,
Yeah.
right people. And one of the trucker we met in Quebec say, you guys, you must do Road 389, which is the road we never heard about. And we like, and he was talking about this road like it was the road to ride on. So we start looking up on Google Map.
In Labrador place.
And this road is bringing us to Labrador. And we're like, okay, let's go. So this is how our journey started, in fact.
So you didn't have an actual route that you wanted to take. You landed in Montreal, and then you were like, let's check this place out and just kind of go where the wind took you, so to speak.
Exactly.
That's
we have
pretty
6
cool.
months in Canada, but Robby had one place he wanted to go, was Tuktoyaktuk. So we knew we would go to Tuktoyaktuk. How and when, we did not
Really?
care.
And why Tuktoyaktuk? Why that specific place?
Because I was inspired by Hubert Kregel, American French,
who was the first man who turned over the world with a sidecar Ural. And he started from New York in January directly to Tuktoyaktuk in winter, -40 blizzard.
That's the time of year he went.
Yeah.
Through in the wintertime at -40.
Yeah.
Oh.
In 2004.
That's when he made the trip, was in 2004?
Yeah, 2005. And after, he continued his journey during 14 years around the world.
Oh, wow. And that's something you wanted to copy.
No, I said, because he said just before he want to start the world tour, he speak like this. Left 10 years before retired, and when I will be retired, I will be poor. So if I sold off all my apartment, cars, all,
Yeah.
I can travel during 10 years, and at the end of the 10 years, I will be poor. Between work and travel, I prefer travel. I said, this is the way.
Really?
Yeah, and 3 months after, 6 weeks after I start my journey.
Wow. So you liquidated also? You sold all your assets to be able to make this trip?
Yeah.
And Meg, you were right alongside.
Yep.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. So that explains the type of why the type of year too, or sorry, not the type, the time of year for you to be traveling all the way up to Tuktoyaktuk. I believe I'm saying that right. But in the winter, that's I think what's really capturing the attention of a lot of people is the time of year, the conditions. Like I'm sure you guys are documenting on your YouTube channel, definitely are extreme to a large amount of people, and the curiosity and around that and how you're able to go about doing that and enjoying the moments along the way and not letting that drain you down to a point where it's not such an enjoyable trip anymore. Can we talk about maybe how you go about doing that, like the motorcycle and the way you must have to dress to be able to travel at such extreme conditions? Let's start with the sidecar. Is there any meaning with that particular brand, or is that a passion that you have driving with the sidecars?
Yeah, it's passion. Ural, so it's Russian. It's made in it used to be It's up to now. It was made in Irbit. It's the Mount Ural in Siberia.
Okay.
Since 1941. And so they are the only brand that has the bike and the tub or the basket.
The
you call
sidecar?
it the sidecar.
Okay, yeah.
Of the same brand. Otherwise, you find sidecars all over the world, but usually the bike and the sidecar are from different brand.
Oh, really?
It's the only bike that has a reverse. And I can tell you, as a woman,
Reverse is handy to have.
reverse is a must.
And two-wheel drive.
And
Two-wheel drive.
Two-wheel
That's
drive.
actually a pretty unique feature. I'm sure it comes in handy every now and then, doesn't it?
it saved us from being in trouble many times.
That one, is that something that you have full time? Like it has a differential, or does it just want to go straight?
Yeah, you don't have differential. It's only if you are stuck, you put the two-wheel drive, stuck in sand, in snow, in mud with water,
Yeah.
You put the two-wheel drive and like a tractor.
Away you go.
Yeah.
So is that something that you need to stop and put into two-wheel drive, or can you
like
on the
this.
fly? Oh, okay. That's a handy feature, but you don't have it in two-wheel drive all the time. Do you need it often? Is that something that you found comes in handy, or is it you don't need it often, but when you do, boy, it's sure nice to have?
We don't need it often, but we don't like to ride on big highways, so we take usually small roads. And yeah, it happens that we get stuck. The last one was me in Saskatchewan, where I got a wrong track and I went on a snowmobile track. And of course, like the bike went like boom. Okay, so luckily I got a two-wheel drive.
Yeah.
You can
try it out.
You can see this in one video in YouTube.
Oh, you have it on the video?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
We'll have to check that out.
He enjoyed
Videotaping that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure you hear him laughing in the background a little bit, eh? Just a little chuckle. So the traction typically is pretty decent on these roads. You don't have any issues climbing hills or, you know,
So-
the back end kicking out or
So
anything?
we have Key 37 tires from Edeno. It's a German brand. So
Okay.
they are for all kind of road. Plus, we screw ourselves Todd's spikes on our three tires.
Oh, so you put your own spikes in there.
So we put spikes to make sure to be able to be safe on ice and snow.
Gotcha. That's probably a good call, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So the one thing that I noticed on your clip going down South Taylor Hill is at the very bottom you have a bridge that has got quite the reputation. How did that fare going across that bridge on a three-wheeler?
So, yeah.
The metal decking.
To me,
Yeah.
it's easy. Start.
No problem.
Full power. Mag. What
Me,
happened?
I dance. My bike dance all over the bridge. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh.
Well, it has a way of trying to kick you around a little bit. It's almost like you find a little groove and you keep hopping from one to the other. You get that in a vehicle too. If you go a little faster, sometimes it smooths out. Don't take my word at that, but it's
It's not a problem for Robbie. He likes it. When I start seeing a bridge in Canada,
Yeah.
I wait for the sign, you know, of this motorcycle, the yellow sign where the motorcycle dance. And if I see it, I'm starting to be like, oops.
understandable.
She breaks. I put power.
Power through it.
This is a woman, a man. Mars and Venus. This is we are opposite.
Yeah.
You know, she break. A man put gas. A woman break.
Well, where's the experience level though between the two of you? Like, Meg, how long have you been riding bikes in comparison to Robbie?
Nothing in comparison to Robbie. I had my bike driving license when I was 20. It's been a while.
Yeah. That was the last time you drove?
No.
The motorcycle?
No. I used to have a CBR 600 Honda, and I went with Robbie few times. But yeah, he's waiting for me at the next bar.
Oh, yeah.
Really. Yeah. So, but Robbie has a lot more of off-road bike.
Well, what kind of experience do you have then, Robbie?
Alors, I'm not a specialist, but I like test all kind of sports. I play 11 years rugby. I did triathlon, pentathlon, marathon, all on. I did.
Yeah, all the owns.
but when I have 14, I bought my first motorbike. It was a MTX 50 Honda.
Okay.
And
MTX 650?
MTX.
No, 50. Just 50.
Oh,
because
MTX 50.
He was 15 years old.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. And at this time, we together with Mag, we climb mountains in winter to skiing with the motorbike.
Oh.
And after I went to Rally Dakar 2 times, but it's not my sport, just for challenge. And 2 times it's Le Bol d'Or in France. It's a race like a 24 hour of Mans.
It's like an endurance race.
Yeah, endurance.
Oh.
Mondial championship, world championship endurance.
Really?
Yeah. And I went and I finished. It's just a pleasure to ride with a good rider.
And that was the beginning of your passion?
I have a lot of passion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been in many endurance races?
No, only 2 times, just to test.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's not. I test. It's okay. It's good. And the day after, I test another sport.
Oh, really?
I test a lot of skydiving. I have 100
Jump.
jump in skydiving.
Wow.
in Africa, in France, in Spain. We with Mag
Scuba dive.
we have a lot of
Scuba diving experience?
experience. Yes, all I can test, I test, and
Wow.
I enjoy it.
So the experience with motorcycles, where does that? Did you have a lot prior to this trip? Like as far as the world tour on a sidecar, did you have a lot of experience traveling or riding a bike with a sidecar prior to that, or was that just something that you decided was going to be a neat thing to travel on?
Alors, I bought my sidecar.
The first sidecar.
The first one I bought because I have 2 daughters, and we have 3 places in the sidecar, and we turn around the France Tour de France with the sidecar. And after I had the idea to the world tour.
Okay.
Sidecar, it's very fun. It's not a motorbike. It's not a car.
Yeah.
When you start, the sidecar go on the right side. When you brake, you go on the left side. You go where you want.
Yeah.
You can explain, Mike.
No, I know. I think I get what you're saying. When you're accelerating, it wants to kind of pull you to one side versus when you're braking, it's the opposite.
Because you
Yeah.
got
The
the
opposite
sidecar,
side,
so the
yeah.
sidecar, the basket, the tub always want to overtake you. So it's it's physical.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
Always correcting and making sure you're
exactly.
going
The
straight.
sidecar brings you wherever he wants.
Yeah.
It's you need to adjust.
At the beginning, it's dangerous
Yeah.
if you don't know.
Yeah, I can imagine.
You have to pass a lesson, a test with the garage who sell you the sidecar.
It's better to take training because it can also on a right turn you can easily the basket can easily
Flip over. If it's empty.
Yeah. So yeah, there is a lot of little things to know, not to be surprised, and even now it's 18,000 kilometers in Canada. I still can get surprised.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Is that something you need to be aware of for maintenance if you hit a hard bump? Because the 2 back wheels, you would have to align them, wouldn't you? I mean, if the sidecar back wheel was kind of turning one way or the other, it would exaggerate the direction it wants to go in.
With experience, it's okay now. It's a game for me. I turn with speed. It's a real game. When quand je sors d'un virage.
When I exit.
When I
turn,
exit of
okay.
a virage.
Yep.
turn.
When I turn, the basket it's up.
Wanting to come up.
Because I want.
But he does it on purpose.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
For fun. Just for fun.
So the luggage that you guys are packing with you, that's a bonus, or is that a drawback when it comes to pulling one way or the other, accelerating? It's wanting to pull you even harder to one side or the other.
Yeah, more heavier you are. I mean, you have to really. There is a there's a way to organize your weight on the bike.
Yeah.
In order not to be too surprised. So
In the top too.
yeah,
In the top too.
in the tub. So you must put 70% in the middle and 30%. I mean, so we know, and we have organized our toolbox because toolbox is really heavy, plus a personal effect, in order not to be surprised and have a uniform weight dispatch.
Yeah, so that must be quite a juggle when it comes to figuring out what you want for yourself and what you want for parts and repairs along the way for unforeseens.
Yes.
Is that a continual trial and error experiment, or did you have a pretty good idea of what to pack from the beginning, threw it on the plane, and away you go?
So for personal effect, we have a pretty good idea because you can't carry much. So it's easy. It's 2 trousers, 2 t-shirts, and you're done.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And but for the toolbox, which was really so, like Robby like to say, if you take 50% of spare parts with you, you're sure that it's going to be the other 50% that's going to break down that you don't have.
Yeah, it's Murphy's Law. Absolutely.
But
You can't.
You can't pack
You
for
can't
everything.
have a second sidecar in parts.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't.
So we have spare parts that
Yeah.
we dispatch in between the two. And so far, it's been, I'm touching wood.
Yeah, knock on
Everything
wood.
has
Eh?
been
It
knock
is.
on
It's good wood. Knock on it all day long.
And I have the experience of parts who break because I start alone the travel, and I know what we need. We need cable, clutch. 3 times it break.
Oh,
Yeah. We need
Bearings.
clutch disc.
The disc.
Disc clutch. We need bearing. We need
Electrical little
fuse,
relays.
oh yeah, little things like that.
yeah.
Are they different? So when it comes to some of the cables and electrical, are they different than what you'd be able to get along the way? Like a fuse, are they any different than what we would have here that you can pick up?
Yes, but when if I need one in the Dempster Highway,
In the middle
in
of
a
nowhere.
garage,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that 50-cent part could
And
really mean
you-
a lot.
and you can on peut gagner du temps.
We can win time.
We can win time. Because if you stay one person, one car, oh, I need a fuse. Okay, we go together to the garage, come back, and
Yeah, wasting time
And
just
it's-
going back and forth.
fuse is really a little
Small might,
yeah,
for
small.
sure. Have you had any experiences along the way that have been a little bit more than just a simple fix?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
what has happened?
in Newfoundland, we were using the gravel roads and not the highways. And we, between Gander and Stephenville, there was nearly 200 kilometers of gravel in the middle of nowhere, just beautiful. And Robby had suddenly, I mean, the bike stopped, but with a very annoying noise. Impossible to start the bike. The bike was really broken. We even thought it was the motor that was dead.
Oh, serious one.
So I towed Robby for 6 hours on this gravel road. At night, then it was night,
Yeah.
and we not seen a single moose during this towing. Anyway, that was just a bracket.
Was that something
because
that you were looking forward to?
I love
as a
mooses,
moose?
and we at this time we've never seen any moose.
Oh, okay.
So, and everyone is telling us in Newfoundland there are mooses everywhere. Well, we can tell you that in the middle of nowhere at nighttime there was no
There's
moose.
no moose.
Well, which was good anyway and so I told Robby to Stephenville, and there is very few Ural dealer in Canada, but there is one in Nova Scotia. So we met a wonderful couple, Guy and Robin, in Stephenville, who took Robby's bike on their trailer, drove to Port aux Basques, which is the ferry going to Nova Scotia, which was 180 kilometers one way, dropped Robby's bike into the ferry, and then the next morning, the Ural dealer in Nova Scotia came to pick up the Robby's bike. And he stayed 1 week at the garage, and it was the crankshaft.
Oh, it was the crankshaft.
Who got broken.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so that was a big one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
The sound was
Did you have a spare crankshaft?
Of course not.
No, not that. You're not packing that around.
Of course not. No, and even if we had one, we could not replace it. I mean, you really need a garage. So what was very amazing is that this Ural garage, they did not have the knowledge really to replace a crankshaft. But they knew that it was an old man. Oh, if I say that,
Lutz.
old, I mean, he's not going to be happy. No, I'm sure he
the
is.
name is Lutz.
His name is Lutz. He's German, but he's been in Canada for 40 years. And he's a Ural passionate. So they called him. He drove 2 hours to come to the garage. And he completely undo Robby's bike and found that it was the crankshaft. And Lutz has been several times in Irbit, in the Russian factory, to help out with things. And he he was able to get a spare crankshaft, and they repaired everything. And
Oh, good.
2 days only.
That's it.
it was
To be able to get those parts.
they
Yeah.
were wonderful.
When you think all is down, suddenly
Something happens.
Yeah.
the sunshine come and
Oh,
during 1 year you learn. Now when I have a problem, it's not I have a problem. It's a big shit. No. I said cool. We can find all the time a solution. 1 hour, 2 hour, 1 day, I don't know, but we have a solution.
yeah. Well, that would be probably something that you need to have a skill set in when it comes to being able to travel around the world.
Oh, yeah.
Something like that, problem solving.
Never panic.
No, exactly. I guess that would be number one, wouldn't it? So moving forward to maybe getting closer to town, actually, what I'm going to do is just explain here something I just noticed, unfortunately, is up until just recently while you were talking, I had the audio on mute. Can you believe that? What the hell? I know. You took a sip at the wrong time there. Thanks for not speaking. We're back on track here. But I have a fix. I do have a fix. I was recording this on normal audio, so I'm going to do the normal video. I know. We were talking about this yesterday, were we not? About
exactly,
the glitches. To continue on, I was curious to know now, going back to the sidecar and traveling with that, what does it take to travel in the winter conditions? Like, you must have special clothing, like you layer and then you have a process with heated helmet and hand gloves and whatnot, or how do you dress for the weather conditions?
So when we arrive in Canada, we say, who knows better than Canadian how to skidoo and how to have fun during winter time? You guys, and you have all the
Equipment.
equipments.
Yeah.
So we went to some equipment shops in Montreal and bought our boots. So we have skidoo boots. We have a skidoo suit.
That's and you just layer up with that.
That's we wear all day long.
Oh,
And then under the skidoo. So from up to -15, we can just have our regular clothes and so the skidoo boots and the skidoo suit, and that's enough. When you start to be above -15, then we start to put some electrical jacket and trouser,
okay.
and we have electrical gloves as well, and we have heated hand
Handlebars,
bike.
hand grips. Oh,
They are not heating too much. They are okay. But between the gloves plus the bike heating handle, it's okay.
It helps
enough.
out.
It until -30 will be good.
-30.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What about the face and the head? Is your
-10 you can ride with windows open.
really
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Because we have big windows front
a windshield?
a windshield.
a windshield. It's good.
So you're not hitting the wind. If you're going 90 kilometers an hour, that's not right in your face. It's got quite a windbreak with the
Well, first we ride between 70 and 80, so we are not speeding too much. Plus we have this windshield.
Yeah.
And really, it's we have put only once the electrical visor only once up to now,
Wow.
because it was wet and it was freezing. Now when we go up north, it's dry.
Yeah.
So there is, you don't freeze on your visor.
Do you find that actually makes a big difference when you're driving? Is if it is a bit colder, it's quite a bit easier. It's better traction and you get less snow dust and debris from traffic.
Absolutely. Yeah, the up north has been more
Why
enjoyable
winter?
than
Winter, you less cars, no tourists, no mosquito.
yeah. It's more on the condition if the air is dry versus humid. We had one time the rain. It was raining in Alberta. Then yes, that was awful. On the
Yeah.
road, it was icy, but very, very, very icy. And on our visitor, it was really bad. But we have on our glove something to take out.
Oh, a little
the,
scraper to be
yeah,
able to clean
scraper.
up. Oh,
But that
That's
was
kind of a
bad.
good idea.
Now -30 with blue sky. We've been very lucky. We never had big storm or. I mean, so we ride most of the time with blue sky.
really?
Oh, really?
Even further north? Like, wasn't I was talking with Robbie when he was in, where was that now? That was
Eagle Plain?
Eagle
Eagle
Plain. And a weather front had come in, and I think you had to wait it out for a little while.
Alors, if the weather is awful, we don't ride.
Yeah, we don't
Yeah.
ride.
So we have no problem.
You guys stay in a hotel every night, so you have destination
It depends.
every
Like
so
for the
often?
Christmas storm, where you had a lot of snow, guys, we were invited by bikers in Honda, so we stayed 3 days during the Christmas time with them. And like Robby in Eagle Plain was stuck with the weather. Anyway, the road was closed, so yeah, you have to. There's only one motel, so you have no choice, right?
Yeah.
So he stayed in a motel.
And you were in Dawson City at the time?
Yeah, I was waiting in Dawson.
Oh, that's nice. Did you encounter anything different than what you were expecting going that far north as far as road conditions, the ability to, were they cleared? Traffic was it a lot different than maybe traveling down here in the winter?
Yes, it was like a dream. The road is good all the time. Machine clean the snow, but all the time the wind come and put snow on the road. So it's a sportive ride. It's a sportive ride, and I like this. And no, the road is good, but when they open the road after Eagle Plains, you have all the time wind, blizzard,
Oh, really?
and you cross a plain with a lot of wind. You can't see the road with the wind.
I'll hold on here,
but-
guys. There's something. So it looks like it's an internet thing. Okay, we're live again.
Good.
Wow. My apologies. Good morning. All over. Ooh. Well, technical difficulties. We're hitting them one after the other. So I'm glad we're able to work those out. We were talking about breakdowns and being able to work around it. And I think we're hammering them. We were talking about road conditions and the ability to travel and whatnot. One of the questions I did have when it came to traffic, both oncoming and then people that were wanting to maybe get in front of you, what has that been like typically with especially some of the bigger trucks, and maybe some passenger vehicles? Has there been, respectful travel for the most part? Or
So as we mentioned, we ride only at 70, maximum 80 kilometers an hour. So you can imagine that sometimes we have vehicles queuing behind us.
yeah,
Many Canadians were really scared for us. They say, oh, you have to be really careful with the big trucks. They're huge, right? Here in your country,
pull that mic towards
you have huge trucks. And frankly, they are, I want to give a thumbs up to all the truckers
Hey,
in Canada.
thumbs
really,
up.
really. And big
It's
claps.
awesome.
They stay far behind us before overtaking. We pull usually on the right side when we see they can overtake. They overtake us, and before they come back in front of us to avoid us getting all the gravel and snow or whatever, they really wait a kilometer before they go again in front of us. They're extremely respectful.
That's awesome.
And
It's cool. to
What's
hear.
really nice is they talk between themselves on the VHF
Oh,
radio.
yeah.
And so sometimes we get big horn. Brr, brr.
And night show.
Yeah, they're really exceptional. Really.
Awesome. That's
Yeah.
good to hear.
Yeah.
What about smaller traffic? Do people get impatient, or is You guys are traveling on the highway in the middle of winter on a bicycle. I would imagine that for the most part, people, are fairly respectful, making sure they're not pulling right in front of you and blasting you with some snow. And
They pass us all the time with the telephone video on.
oh, I see.
They film us.
They're going by waving and taping you. That's awesome.
So we're waving.
And we found the at the end of the day, we found on
TikTok,
TikTok
or Facebook.
our video.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They tag you in the video.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
It's great.
Right on.
So we don't take usually highways. Well,
Yeah.
of course we took the Alaska highway because there is only one road,
Yeah.
right, that brings us to the north. But usually, we don't take the big highways, never. So we take smaller roads, and now we have really no issue, never.
Yeah, that's good. That's awesome. Is there much of a cultural difference then, I guess, from other countries that you've been in as far as driving habits and
Yes.
yeah, what are the things that point out?
I think Robby can talk about Turkey.
Alors, les conditions de route?
No, how the drivers are
yeah.
like in
Alors,
Turkey.
In
Compared
all
to
East country, Europe East country,
Yeah.
and Turkey, the rules, it's no rules.
Oh,
Yeah, here it's a paradise. Here, Scandinavia, Norway, Finland, the driver, it's very cool, very slow, very respectful. It's another kind of ride in East country and Turkey. You can you can be with 3 cars in the same way before a turn.
oh, really?
Yeah. There is a line,
Yeah.
but
They don't care.
They don't care. They just kind of give her.
It's like it's like a war in the road.
Was that something that you had to kind of think about when it came to insurance from one country to the other, and maybe different nuances with the rules
So
of the road?
you have to take insurance every time you enter a country.
Yeah.
You have to take the country insurance.
In Europe,
Oh, okay.
in East country, Turkey, you when you cross, not Europe, l'Europe, not Europe economic, but Europe geographic.
Geographically,
on the east,
yeah.
When you cross a country, you buy an insurance.
Oh,
For example,
Yeah.
$20 for 1 month or 2 weeks.
That's interesting. So when you came to Canada, did you
We
have to do
we have to buy a Canadian insurance.
and then register your bikes and
Yeah,
whatnot?
absolutely.
There were no issues with registering a bike this time of year?
Sorry.
There was this time, no?
No.
Did they want to do an inspection or anything?
No,
like that?
only
They just-
insurance. Only
Really?
Only the insurance. And so far we've met only the police once.
Oh,
And the police was more interested in our bikes than on really
taking pictures, checking it out.
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, that's
So-
awesome.
Yeah.
So, you're heading back. You're going to Toronto. What do you have waiting for you there? There's a bit of a timeline thing there, isn't there?
Yeah, so that changed a little bit our plan, but like Robby said, we have no plan anyway. So we are invited to the Toronto International Motor Show
Wow.
next week. So that's going to be nice. So we're
Sounds
gonna
like
be
a
there.
week is a long time, but how far you need to travel is you're
It's-
going to
it's
need
a-
all of that
yeah.
week.
Yeah, it's a big drive. Yeah.
So because of that, you want to make time up, and you guys showed up here, and we met last night, and your sidecars were in a U-Haul.
Yeah.
Just because you need to make a little bit of time up. So how far do you typically travel on your bikes per day?
So depends. So we check the weather. Weather is gonna give us how far we can travel.
Yeah.
And if the weather is okay, good, then usually we do between 300 and 400 kilometers a day.
Okay.
Now, here, guys, in your country, you have sometimes no town in between 400 kilometers.
They spread out.
So that's also we take into consideration.
Fuel.
Yeah.
That would be a big one, especially going up to Tuktoyaktuk.
Yeah.
Fuel must have been a big deal,
Yeah.
eh?
Yeah, well, it was a challenge first, and when I come back, I rode Inuk Inuvik to Dunson City. It's 770 kilometers in one way.
Oh,
It was a goal to me.
wow.
And so he's got spare 20 liter plus 19 liter plus 10 liters. So a lot of spare bags
Yeah.
of gas.
So is that what you normally pack, extra fuel? Or-
No, not normally, only if we know that we have a very long distance.
So how do you manage that? You must have a cash, like you must know that you're coming back and then take something out to be able to replace and prioritize what you need for that section of travel.
Yes.
Is that what you needed to do? You probably held on to some things in Dawson City and you grabbed a little
Exactly.
extra fuel when you continued on.
Exactly. He took my extra
Ah.
bag
Mhm.
and I took some stuff out of him.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a hell of a trade-off, because I'm sure everything that you had in there to leave behind was like, oh man, I could use that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty. Is there a list that you check off? Okay, this is what I need, and
Not really, at least.
just experience.
Yeah, we know. We
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, we know now, but exactly, it's experience.
But the difference in winter, minus 50, minus 30,
Yeah.
the bike need 2 liters more to ride 100 kilometers.
Conception.
Yeah. Conception.
On the
Say
conception.
that again. You 200 or how many liters per 100 kilometers?
So usually our bikes, they do between 5 and 6 liter per 100 kilometers in normal temperature.
Okay.
So when we get to minus 20, minus 30,
Yeah.
they do
7,
between
8.
7 and 8 liter per
Oh.
kilometer. So we have to take that into account.
Absolutely. That's probably something I don't think I would have thought of, to be honest with you, when you're going from one area to the other, because you're right, there's, especially up north, there's quite a distance from one place to the next.
Yeah. And you
Anything past Fort Nelson, pretty much, it gets pretty scarce.
and winter, you have to check oil in a hot garage, because if you need to put some oil during the ride,
Yeah.
you can't, because your oil, liter oil, is frozen.
It's too, it's thick.
So,
You must use synthetic oil to help minimize that a little bit.
So we do, but still, I mean, the jerry can of oil is completely frozen.
Yeah.
So you have to take that into consideration also. And
I think that's why we go back to the travel in the winter, but I think that's why a lot of people are like, wow, you can't even pour oil out of a jug, and they're
No.
out in the elements just traveling and
we
loving
can't
it.
even drink water.
yeah, you can't drink water
know that?
because
Oh,
like this.
yeah.
Yeah.
It freezes up. You don't have
Yeah.
heated water bottle holders,
No.
eh?
No.
Oh, that's amazing. Absolutely amazing. So this Toronto show that you're going for, is that a weekend event, or what exactly does that all entail?
Yeah, it's the date. It's 17, 18, 19.
17th, 18th, and 19th
Yeah,
of this month.
this month.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Next week.
Yeah.
And we are invited by, there is a great association called Read Adventure.
Okay.
Read Adventure. It's in Quebec, where they are, right now, they are designing 8,000 kilometers road of back trail
Oh, wow.
roads all over Quebec for bikers. And so Marc Chartrand, who is the president, has invited us to the show.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. What are your plans after that then? Are you going to continue on back to another country, or yeah? Do you know? You're probably just going to wing it.
We know the direction.
Yeah.
Direction is south of American continent, and now the way we don't know.
Well, I'm so glad I was able to catch you guys on the way
Yeah.
by. Oh my.
Yeah, as we say, we have a direction, but we don't have the details. And as we meet people and they tell us, oh, you should not miss this road, or you should not miss that, or if you come this way, stay here. So we adjust our direction according to
the people
the
you
people
meet.
we
And
meet.
that's
Mhm.
it's very cool. How long is this going to go? Is this just a continual travel? You've liquidated and this is a 5-year plan and then reevaluate?
Maybe
Just
more.
The
going-
name,
really
the name is the endless riding.
endless
Endless
riding.
ride.
Oh.
Timeless,
Timeless ride.
endless.
And to touch on you guys, that was we at the very beginning. I forget which episode, probably the last one. You guys are high school sweethearts that have pretty much, kept in touch and been
Yeah.
together for quite
Years.
a long period of time. Very cool. I'm gonna touch on some stuff. We were kind of mentioning about time and whatnot, and I want to put this all together, but I want to really check out a couple of things. I'm going to share your web page. I'm just going to share this here.
It's a Robby, ROBBY 3 W.ch, like Confédération Helvétique. It's Switzerland. But if you want to help us, the best is just to subscribe on YouTube.
Okay.
Robby 3 Wheel.
Robby 3 Wheels. Let me show that.
Yeah.
And I want to say, the girls, if the girls are listening, it's a girl power. There is not a lot of women who are riding bicycles and going around the world. So please, the girls, I'm a for the woman.
That's awesome. Shout out to the
Girl
females.
power, please.
Absolutely. Well, I'm glad you mentioned that. Yeah. Do you think there's this must be quite the experience for you, eh? Have you had a lot of people comment actually talking about girl power as far as you being a part of this?
Some men, I mean, they're really wow. They're like, wow, a woman can do it. Yes, a woman can do it. Now I got a very good partner. I don't know if I would be doing the north and the cold on my own.
Yeah.
Without Robby. And I had no issue, no technical issue on the bike. I mean, nothing. Everything is going super well. But it's comfortable to have Robby with me.
Absolutely. I bet it's just a little bit of camaraderie and support for each other that you probably don't get just with anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, why don't we show the last part of your YouTube show that you guys had released yesterday? And Robby 3 Wheels, you have a Robby 3 Wheels page, web page. You can find Robby 3 Wheels Facebook, YouTube, website,
and Instagram, little Instagram.
And Instagram. Okay, well, I'm pretty sure everyone's going to check it out. And I'll play this. I'm going to bring it over here so we can all see.
This Alaska highway will always. Please ride your Alaska highway over and over because it's so beautiful.
It is.
You have a country that is just amazing, astonishing.
This is a breakdown concept.
Can you hear the wind?
Yeah, the wind. So you can put the subtitle in English, huh, guys?
Ah, yeah.
Very cool. Thanks for coming out and all your patience with everything.
Thank
I'd
you,
like
Kevin.
to shout out to the listeners and anybody who seen this. Thanks for your patience. Latitude 56 for helping us out with sponsorship. Obviously, Meg is loving it. I think it's going to be some added warmth in your travels.
Yeah.
And I hope to stay in touch, in your travels over, the different countries. Please reach out and we can, maybe when I get things squared away, we'll do a live every now and then. I think it'd be kind of fun.
Oh, yeah, that will.
Absolutely.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
All right. Well, I'll leave you guys with it. And one more thing I'll put on here so everybody can see where to grab the podcast. I'll put the logos on here and ending, and away we go.
Okay.
Okay.
Merci beaucoup. Have a great day, everyone.
Ciao, ciao.
We'll see you.